Are you tired of long queues and frustrated customers? Managing your queue doesn't have to be difficult. Introducing KMS Queue, the smart, automated queue management system built for modern businesses. Save time, serve efficiently, and keep your customers happy. KMS Queue organize, optimize, and grow with ease. Listen this audio to see how it works.
Have you ever walked into a busy clinic, a high-end salon, or maybe a bustling tattoo studio, and immediately felt that creeping dread?
Oh, yeah.
That physical, stressful mess that comes with service queues? I'm not just talking about standing in line. I mean the chaos, the crowding, guessing if you'll wait 5 minutes or 50.
And the staff look completely overwhelmed.
Exactly. They're juggling, managing the line, and doing their actual job. It affects everyone, whether you're a patient like Raju just trying to get a checkup or, someone like Arun trying to get a quick beard trim.
And what's really fascinating here is that we often accept this chaos as just, inevitable, especially in those high-volume places.
Right.
But the sources we've gathered today suggest that all that inefficiency and stress are actually measurable, avoidable problems.
Yeah.
We're doing a deep dive into the KMS Queue Token System, which they're calling a virtual queuing revolution.
So it's more than just a ticket machine.
Much more. It's a whole approach to client flow. Our mission today is to really explore how this single system improves the psychological experience for the client, while at the same time giving the provider total operational control. And this is the crucial part, quantifiable data.
Okay, let's unpack that. We've got a solid stack of sources, operational breakdowns of the software, some really compelling use case stories like Priya, the tattoo customer, or Dr. Sharma and her patients. And what I'm keen to get into, some very hard, measurable ROI data for businesses.
Yeah, the numbers are impressive.
We're going to see how moving from a manual, human-managed line to a structured virtual token system changes everything. So let's start where the client starts, that first point of contact. You're replacing the physical anxiety of the line with a touchscreen kiosk.
That's the first crucial step. The psychological shift is immediate. Instead of hovering nervously, Raju walks up, sees clear graphics, and just selects his service.
Dr. Sharma, general checkup.
Or Barber Anil haircut and beard trim. Boom! The system instantly generates a token number. So for you as the customer, the value is that elimination of doubt.
And the elimination of standing awkwardly. That's probably half the battle in a crowded room.
It is. But the real game changer is the real-time queue visibility. Raju doesn't just get a number. The monitor tells him, token 15, 5 people ahead of you.
An estimated wait time too?
Yep. Estimated wait 40 minutes. This transparency completely changes the waiting game. He's not anchored to the reception desk. You can grab a coffee, check emails.
Or like the source mentioned with Meera at the massage center, she settled down with herbal tea. She felt respected, not rushed.
Exactly. The wait time is transformed from lost time into personal time.
Okay, but let me push back a bit. What happens if the wait is still, genuinely long, an hour and a half? Does just knowing it's that long really save the experience?
That's a great question. The system doesn't eliminate the wait, but it manages the perception of the wait.
Which is often more stressful than the wait itself.
Precisely. Because the queue is transparent and it's controlled by an impartial system, it feels fair. No one can jump the line, and the staff haven't forgotten you. That predictability it lowers the anxiety.
And the transition from waiting to service has to be seamless. I mean, nobody wants their name yelled across a noisy room.
Correct. The system handles that with large visible monitors and clear voice alerts. The display flashes token 15 to room 3, and an audible announcement guides you right there.
So it's organized.
It is. And that organization breeds trust. It's why that customer testimonial highlighted feeling, quote, well-informed and cared for throughout the entire process. Even with a long queue, organization equals satisfaction.
All right, let's pivot to the staff side. If the client experience is calmer, that already helps the staff. But let's talk about operational control. The sources make it sound incredibly simple on the back end.
It is.
The staff just click next. How does that simplicity translate into a real boost in productivity?
That simplicity is the genius of it. The service provider, Dr. Sharma at her desk, artist Ravi on his tablet, they manage the entire flow just by clicking next on their phone or computer.
And that one click does everything.
It automates the queue advancement, triggers the voice alerts, updates the big display, all without the staff having to look up or shout a name. It immediately reduces that admin workload.
But what about that common problem? A token is called, but the person stepped out for a second. In a manual system, that's chaos. They get skipped, maybe forgotten.
Right. And that's where the missed token recall feature comes in. It's a crucial advanced feature. If token 12 doesn't respond, the staff member clicks next and moves to token 13.
So token 12 is just lost.
No, the system doesn't forget them. It automatically bumps them to the end of the line or puts them in a special recall queue. The key is that the service flow doesn't halt. The staff doesn't have to manually track no-shows and try to awkwardly fit them in later.
Okay, that's a key detail. It maintains continuity. What about different physical layouts? A busy tattoo studio versus a quiet clinic. They're totally different environments.
Absolutely. The system has to be flexible, which is why the multi-device support is so vital. It's built to work across kiosks, big public displays, mobile phones, desktops.
So it scales up or down.
Exactly. A small parlor might just use a desktop and a couple of phones, whereas a big hospital needs multiple kiosks and centralized displays. That adaptability is key.
Let's get to the hard data. You can't manage what you don't measure, right? The sources really emphasize that the system generates insights with no manual effort.
And for a business owner, that's the holy grail. It's a profound shift from just, guessing to a data-driven strategy. The system automatically tracks specific data points.
Like what specifically?
Average service time. This is huge. The system knows Dr. Sharma's average is 8 minutes per patient, or that stylist Raj has a super fast 10-minute beard service.
Why is knowing that down to the minute so critical?
Because it kills the guesswork in staffing. If you see that most of your staff average 10 minutes for a haircut, but one stylist averages 18, well, that might point to a training need, not a lack of effort.
I see.
Beyond that, it tracks tokens served per staff member, it pinpoints your exact peak hours, and gives you these really comprehensive queue analytics.
So what does a business owner do with all that? How does it change their decisions?
It gives them a real competitive edge. They can optimize staffing, not just by how many people, but when they're scheduled. They can find and fix bottlenecks. The owner of Aaron's Parlor, for example, used the reports to prove the system let them serve more clients efficiently without extra stat hassle.
They stop running the business on intuition.
And start running it by the numbers, which of course has to translate directly into revenue.
Let's talk about that. The measurable ROI, the claims and the sources they're pretty substantial.
They are. And it answers that critical question. How fast does this pay for itself? The sources claim that by improving the client experience, you boost retention. Salons have reported up to a 30% increase in client throughput.
Serving more people every day.
And seeing revenue increase by a really robust 20 to 35% within the first year.
Wow. Okay, those percentages are huge. Can we contextualize the financial claims, put some real numbers on it?
We can. The sources gave a clear financial projection. If a salon serves just 25 extra clients a week at an average price of, say, 800 rupees.
Which is a pretty mid-range service.
Right. That generates an additional 80,000 rupees a month. Annually, that's 9,060,000 rupees, almost $1 million. The takeaway is the scale of the increase, driven purely by optimized flow.
And the break-even point.
The sources say it's remarkably quick, just 6 to 12 months.
What about the setup costs? Is this a massive investment for a small business?
The sources really focus on how low friction the setup is, implying that the operational costs get offset very quickly by those revenue gains. The whole emphasis is on the speed of the ROI. That 6 to 12-month window suggests the investment is designed to be recovered fast.
Okay, that projected revenue is compelling, but businesses want proof. Let's dive into the case studies. This is the real-world evidence.
We have 3 really good examples. First, a men's salon in Hyderabad called Urban Cuts. They were struggling with peak demand, serving about 40 clients a day, lots of walkaways.
People just got tired of waiting and left.
Exactly. After implementing KMS, their throughput jumped to 55 clients a day. That's a 37.5% rise.
37%, that's massive growth without adding more chairs or staff.
Precisely. Their return on investment hit a staggering 250% in just 6 months. The data showed their service times were already short, but the manual queue was the bottleneck. KMS just opened up the channel.
Okay, what about no-shows? That's a huge revenue killer for high-end parlors.
The Mumbai Beauty Parlor case study is all about that. They had a disastrous 25% no-show rate.
A quarter of their appointments?
Wow.
Yeah. People got frustrated with unclear waits and just left. Implementing the KMS tokens and voice calls cut that no-show rate down to just 5%.
And the financial impact of saving all those appointments?
Their annual revenue grew by 15 lakhs just from that. So the system paid for itself in only 4 months.
4 months? That's incredible.
It really shows the direct financial benefit of solving that psychological stress for the client.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting for scaling a business, like a chain. How do you use this data for smart hiring?
That's what the Bangalore barber chain case study shows. They had 3 shops, averaging 30 clients a day, each with manual queues.
Okay.
With KMS, that number jumped to 42 clients per day per location, a 40% uplift. But the detailed reports were the key. They showed an 18% faster service cycle across the whole chain. So the owners realized they only needed to hire 1 extra stylist for the entire operation, not the 3 they had originally budgeted for.
That is a perfect example of efficient scaling. They accommodate 40% growth, but save massive overhead costs on staffing. Exactly. Full ROI in 8 months. And they also reported a 25% growth in repeat business. The data didn't just tell them how many clients they served. It told them how quickly and who was performing most efficiently. So if we tie all this back to the core mission, the KMS system really succeeds because it addresses 2 critical challenges at the same time. It solves the psychological burden of waiting for the client.
Making them feel cared for.
Right. And it gives the service provider controlled, actionable data to turn that chaos into predictable, profitable efficiency. It really is a win-win system.
Absolutely. The measurable increase in throughput, cutting down costly no-shows, all while making the staff's life easier. It's a clear differentiator. So it makes you wonder, right? Given that systems like this provide such precise analytics on staff performance on peak demand down to the minute, how might service centers use this data to create entirely new premium service tiers?
Oh, that's an interesting thought.
Imagine a guaranteed priority token. The price reflects a commitment to a minimal wait time, and it's all backed by real-time data. That shifts the system from just queue management to a strategic revenue driver, something for you to explore as you think about the future of service flow. That's all for this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.
You help this video for your business?
Visit our website, www.kittysms.com.
www.kittysms.com. And please
follow,
like, share, and subscribe.